Hey guys, Nick here. This is going to be the first video in a 3-video series where I'm going to go through a few date manipulations that I find useful when I go about my work. The first video, which is this one, we're going to do how to create a date range in Knime. Afterwards, we'll do how to filter a table using a specific date. And then last but not least, we're going to do how to filter a data table using the most recent date. So let's get started. To do the first step, create a date range, you've got to go in your node repository, search date, and look for this create date and time range node, which you can see I already dropped over here. I labeled this just so I know later what I'm working with, but my goal here is to create a date range between October 1st and October 16th, and I want every day to be a date within that range. So to set that up, I'm going to configure my node. I'm going to work first with the output type. You can select if you want the date, if you want specifically the time. You can do date and time, or then you can even date and time with zone. I'm just going to run with the date, keep it simple. Now, numbers of rows, I want it to be variable, not fixed 1,000, repeat like this, repeat the range 1,000 times, or like every step within the range up to 1,000 times. I want it to be variable based on my dates, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my start date up here, click on the little calendar, pick October 1st, and then for my ending point, I'm going to say end on October 16th, which is already populated. And then the most important part is the interval. The interval takes a few different, the syntax for the interval isn't as intuitive as you think. It's like where you would say one for, like, in my opinion, to be a day, but then how do you distinguish, I guess, a year from a day? So I guess it makes sense, the syntax. But anyways, if I'm running with 1 day, I'm just going to do 1 followed by the D for day. Going to hit apply, hit OK, and before I execute, let me just show you where you can find the syntax for those periods of, or those interval periods you want to make changes by. You can see here, years, you just do a Y. So if I wanted every year between a particular date range, I do 1 and then the Y. Obviously, months would be 1 in the M, but the one I ran with is 1 in the D for day. So you'll get this help or this description of the node when you click on it. You just got to move your window up a little bit so you can read it, but it has more details on it. I think the most important is just running with the right duration period. But anyways, now I'm just going to execute, right click, execute, and now we'll see the output by right click output table. And now you can see I have, well, it looks like I have a every day, right? But what happened here is I didn't realize that the October 1st was 2019. I'm trying to run with October 1st of 2020, so obviously I'm not paying attention, so that's on me. Let's just go through and fix it. But you can see though, right, the general premises of we're creating a range and I want the intervals to be a 1 day difference is here. I just have to go back in, adjust my dates. So from 2019, make that 2020, apply, okay. I'm gonna hit F7 to execute the node, right click, output table, and now you can see October 1st, 2020, October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, so on and so forth. Right? So that's all you really need to do. We can even go in and play around with this interval. Let's say every 2 days. You could adjust it to whatever you need to fit for your specific report flow or whatever you're trying to get. But here you can see I simply changed the 1 to a 2, and now we're talking October 1st. Then you go to the second day after the 1st is October 3rd, and then October 5th, so on and so forth. So that's how you create a date range in Knime using the create date time range node. If you guys have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If anything, you guys, hit that like button, help me out, subscribe. I've got plenty of more videos coming out. If not, I'll catch you on part 2 of this series. See you guys.